Hi everyone. I just popped in real quick. I got called out on Craig Fiber Spider's video, so I'm going to take care of my list that he was asking for, which is 10 movies and 10 books. I had taken some notes, and there's some scratches on the notes because I changed my mind a couple of times. Kind of keep up what's going on. Pretty soon we should have a Hirschner's yarn review. Because I got the yarn. I bought some yarn on Hirschner's. Shh. Well, now Rebecca knows. But I bought some yarn on Hirschner's over the weekend because of the 4-cent shipping thing, which was cool. So those are coming in pretty soon. I got quite a few colors, so it should be a good haul, which I'm looking forward to. I have been, since I finished my red, white, and blue shawl. I have been working on the blanket. See, it's getting very blanket-esque. So I've done a few rows, and I got to keep going. I actually did get some more Moroccan because I've got to make this like it's not quite like a single bed size. It's more of a couch size. So I'm making this for our couch, and so it's going to be. I need to make it like rectangle. I need to make it long, so it sits on the couch. So that's what I've been working on. A little bit over the 4th, and I'm gonna get to it this weekend. I did get a new book. Woo! And so I started working on the Egyptian. So I'm probably going to work on that. But the reason I bought this book, and I think everybody has seen my cat that I did. This one has the cat in it too. And so I wanted to do this like a friend of mine's cat because he thought it was pretty awesome. So I'm gonna work on that one. Take my time. It's Saturday the 5th. I'm gonna kind of relax today and tomorrow before I'm back at work on Monday. So that's what I've got on tap. I hope everybody's having a great 4th of July weekend. And our prayers and thoughts and go out to the people in Texas where the flooding. Rebecca and I, we'll keep them in our prayers because that's just, it's crazy. I reached out to a couple content creators that I know that are in Texas, which was MDL and Jill, and both of them, and Mike at MDL said he wasn't anywhere near it, and Jill said the same thing on her video. I know there's a couple more people in that area, but I know that Jill and Michael and Panda are okay. And with that, Fiber Jazz Rebecca is over there. No, over there. I can never get this left to right thing because in front of me is a wall. but she's at her desk too, and
hello everyone.
And she's doing a little bit of her things that she wanted to get done over the weekend. I also wanted to let you guys know we did stop at the post office this weekend, and all of the winners from Thursday have gone out today. Also, Brandy, who was nice enough to email me. Brandy, your stuff went out today. Jeremy. Who else? And then there was Mandy Longbine and Robin. And those were the ones that went out today. And Sherry. Right. So be on the lookout for your stuff, and it's coming to you. So yeah. So without further ado, I have my list. So first, I'm gonna start with the books. A couple of them, I know Craig will watch this, and I think he'll be surprised by a couple of them. But the first one, these are in no particular order because these are just books that I've read that I love. A couple of them are actually collections of books, so it's not just one book. There's several books, but it's in its own like thing. The first one is, it really depends on how you pronounce this. I've heard it pronounced a couple of different ways. Is Elric of Monibani, or I've heard it Elric of Melnibone. It's yeah. I've heard it, like I said, I've heard it a couple of different ways. The author is Michael Moorcock. There's several books in the series, and it goes. It's about like the Eternal Warrior, and he's a wizard. It's a fantasy book. He's a wizard, but he's a complete albino. And and then he has a little friend, and he wields this special sword that gives him power when it kills stuff. The life force goes into him because he's an albino, and he can't kind of live without it. And so it's one of my favorite books. He's very broody and very, kind of contemplative about this whole thing, and it's a good book. Books, because there's a few of them. Another one that I really enjoyed. I didn't enjoy the movie, but the book was outstanding. Was Starship Troopers by Heinlein. That is a really good book. Horrible movie, but a really good book. So that one's really good. Another one that's one of my favorites in a series, and this is The Magic of Xanth. And this one is by Piers Anthony, and there's umpteen books in the series now. He keeps writing books, and it's about magic, and it's about there's a place on Earth where all these magic creatures are, and if you don't have like a magic power, you get kicked out by a certain age, the people. But everybody has like a magic power. And there's one, the guy that finds what their magic power is, says that this guy has magic power of a wizard, but it hasn't shown. They don't know what his magic power is. And it turns out that no matter what, he's protected from other magic power. So if you try to do a magic spell on him, it won't hurt him. And so it's about his adventures and all this stuff. It's a good book. Books, I should say. There's quite a few of them. The one that I read was it was about this thick. It was a compilation of like the first 3 or 4 books, and so that's what I read, and it was awesome. It was a really good book. The next one, it's also a Piers Anthony books. It's a set. It's called The Incarnations of Immortality. And it was fascinating to me because it's incarnations of what we think of as like death, war, time, Mother Nature, fate, and so it's all of these different, these things, and each one of them is actually an office, like you would hold it as an office. So each one of them changes people in a different way, but like to become death, you have to kill death, and it's crazy. There's war, death, war, being the Green Mother, which is Mother Nature, time. But they're awesome books. It's when you're reading them, you can read each book individually, but you can read them all together too. It's written in such a way where if you just picked up one of the books and read it, it's like, oh, it's a really good story, but it actually ties into the other books in the series. The first one I read, which is like the 3rd or 4th book, is Wielding the Red Sword, which was war. And I read that one, and it made me want to, because it mentions the other ones, and it kind of, but you can read it by itself. It tied into the other books, so I got the other books and then read the rest of the series, which was amazing. It was great. As by Piers Anthony. Another, switching gears, coming out of the fantasy kind of thing. I loved Red Storm Rising by Tom Clancy. That's a really good book because it goes into politics, and it goes into some of the technology of stuff, and it's a really good book. And it's very similar to like a lot of the stuff that's going on now. An honorable mention to that is Team Yankee. Team Yankee was really good. Okay, Baco. It was written in typical Clancy fashion, and it was really good. Another one that in the same kind of genre is Flight of the Old Dog. That's about a revamped B-52 bomber, and it has like this whole mission it has to complete. Like impromptu stuff happened, and it had to go do it. So that one's a really cool book too. That's by Dale Brown. He's done quite a few of those. But Flight of the Old Dog is one of my favorites. Another one is back to the horror kind of thing. Is Necroscope, the Necroscope series by Brian Lumley. I know I've talked to Craig about it, and it's about vampires, and like it's crazy. It's a really crazy book, but it's really really good. And it's kind of a spy meets like mental thing versus supernatural stuff, and it's crazy. It's a really good book. It sounds like pretty bizarre, but it's a good book. It's really good. It starts in England, so it's in Europe. It's set in Europe, but it's really really good. Another one that's set in Europe. Another honorable mention is Watership Down. I love that book. And the first movie that came out, I liked. The one from, I think it's HBO, not so swift. But I was a huge Watership Down fan. But that's an honorable mention because that's actually kind of outside of the ones that I've, that are my favorites. But that is a really good book. If you have a chance to read that one, it's amazing. Another one is, Rebecca said, I expected this one on your list, which is The Art of War by Sun Tzu, which is, I was very into the martial arts when I was younger. And so during that period, I read that because it wasn't required reading, but it was like, got to read this one. So I read that one, and there's a lot of takeaways from that book that apply to life in general, not just war. I mean, every day is kind of a battle for everyone, and it kind of some of the insights in The Art of War apply to everyday stuff, and it kind of shaped a little bit of my outlook on things. So if you've never read it and you just kind of have an inkling to read it, check it out. It's not that long. It's a very short book. It's not like reading, Red Storm Rising, which is, like that thick. So The Art of War is it's smaller. Another one that I liked, which is, it was a true life, like nonfiction book. It's called Tigers in the Mud, and it was about Otto Carius, who was a Tiger tank commander during World War II. He was on the Eastern Front, so he was fighting the Russians, and it's all about his experiences and what happened to him on the front, and it's not. It doesn't throw out stuff of like the propaganda at the time. It's not about that. It's rarely mentioned in the book. The book is more about the soldiers themselves and the tank crews and the everyday soldier, and not the regime that they just happen to be fighting for. So it's a good book. It was really well done. I listened to the audiobook of it also, and the audiobook was good. So I enjoyed I enjoyed that one. I generally enjoy history books, but that was one of my favorites. Just his experiences were amazing. Well, not amazing, but they were, very harrowing. His experiences. The last one on the book list is it's going back to the that kind of werewolves and vampires and stuff. It's called the name of the book is called The Wolf's Hour, and it's by Robert McCammon, and it's about a werewolf during World War II. And he sneaks behind enemy lines and like all this crazy stuff. It's really good. I really enjoyed that book. Other books that were from Robert McCammon that I really liked was Swan Song. That one was kind of scary. And there's one about a U-boat also, and that was like Ghost Crew or something, and that one too was really good. I liked the way Robert McCammon writes. So none of those are too like crazy. The only one that's kind of crazy deep is The Art of War. When I tend to read, I tend to like stuff that I can like just like enjoy. We get enough craziness even through the years. We've gotten enough craziness through the news and stuff that when I read, I like it's to kind of get out of that mode. Now, bada bing, bada boom. The 10 movies. And the 10 movies I showed Rebecca, and she was laughing. She goes, "These are totally you. This is very you." She goes, "Do you really want this one on the list? Do you really want that one on the list?" And because she knows what I watch, and yeah. So on with the movies. These are in no particular order either, because I jotted down a whole bunch of them and then X'd off a few and then added a few, and then so start with two of my first favorite is Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, and all of the Indiana Jones movies really. I love Indiana Jones. After I I remember seeing the first one in the movie theater, and it had me. They had me. And so any of the Indiana Jones movies, as like when they came out, like, gotta watch it. It's Indiana Jones. A friend of mine even had the fedora. He bought a Stetson fedora, which they made an Indiana Jones one. And he got the Stetson, the hat, the fedora, and it was that. I love that movie. I loved all of those movies. The last ones, they were a little, but the first ones I just absolutely love. That's some of my favorites. And along those lines, this is my absolute favorite monster. I've watched umpteen Godzilla movies. So it's not really a movie, it's a bunch of movies. Indiana Jones, has a bunch of movies. Godzilla Mothra, Ghidorah, like Rodan, has a bunch of them. I love the older ones. The first Godzilla with Raymond Burr, which is really cool. That's a black and white one. And then also there's the new one uh, was it Godzilla Minus Zero? Yeah, it's like the first one. But it's made by the same. It's not like one of the American ones. It's made by the same Japanese company that made the original Godzilla movies. So it has that, Godzilla's not the friendly fellow like they portray him. He's Godzilla, like stomping around, messing up stuff, and that's my favorite Godzilla. And then along with that one, along with that is Mad Max. You gotta love Mad Max. And at the time when that came out, we watched it, and that was the coolest thing, was Mad Max. And then the Road Warrior. Those were great movies. I mean, they're pretty cheesy, kind of, but at the time, yeah, I liked them. I liked them a lot. Now they get kind of more serious movies that I really enjoyed. Stuff, some historical period stuff. Some mental, like some kind of heavy movies. The first one is Awakenings with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. Mm-hmm. I cried like a baby at the end. When if you haven't seen it, watch it. It was just an amazing movie through the whole thing. It was really good. So if you haven't seen Awakenings, check it out. Another one kind of in that same line was A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. Awesome movie. Really awesome movie. It spoke to me, that movie. I really liked it. So that's another one. So those are more the kind of serious ones. Along with that, because it's a true story, Schindler's List is on my list. Okay, that was kind of bizarre. Schindler's List, because of the human drama and the whole him trying to save like as many people as he could, and it's actually a true story. Schindler did save quite a few people, and if I remember right, he's buried in Israel, and he's like a hero. Not really a hero, but like he's kind of idolized for what he did during the war. Another one, speaking of war movies, is Saving Private Ryan. Just the way everybody's portrayed. It's portrayed as soldier versus soldier, and not like the propaganda, like us versus them kind of thing with the regime in the 1940s. It was kind of based that they're all soldiers, and they're all fighting for their countries, and I really like that about it, and the human element to it, and kind of what they spoke about was like the brotherhood of these soldiers, and I really enjoyed that. In that particular movie, it was a really good movie. Another one that's kind of it's a black and white. This one's a black and white one, and it's Casablanca. you gotta have Casablanca. Casablanca is awesome. You know, and all the Jude joints in all the world. It's awesome. That's one that I can watch over and over, kind of thing. You know, it's a cool movie. It's a cool movie. Another one which I really liked. I love Peter Sellers. There should be a couple more Peter Sellers movies. Honorable mention is like the Pink Panther, Being There. You know, from what I understand, he wasn't a very nice fellow, but he made good movies. And this one had actually a lot of people in it, which is Doctor Strangelove. That movie's awesome. That movie is just some of the lines in that movie are just, it's like, oh jeez. You know, it was that one's a great movie. Honorable mention, Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, The Godfather, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, 300. You know, there's quite a few of them that I really enjoy. The top 10 was kind of, I had to kind of think about it. So, and now it's the time where I get to pick who I'm passing this to. And I'm thinking maybe Fiber Floozy, Jill. So if you're watching, Jill, you're next. Mara, if you're watching, you're on the list. Tag, you're it. Who else? Let's see who else. Because Fiber Spider tagged a lot of people. And a lot of people that watch my channel, and you know, we're kind of in the same community, so it's kind of crazy. Jessica SNC, John at was it Whips and Chains? No, it's not Whips and Chains. It's Whips and something, and for John's channel, John, my Canadian friend. And who else can I? I'll tell you right now. Hang on a second, because Rebecca's looking it up, and I always goof his channel. It's Whips, Makes, and Hooks, Whips, and Chains. Hooks, Whips, and Chains. Mm-hmm. John's channel. So John, you know, I know Craig already poked Gary at Urban Yarn and MDL. Panda, you weren't on that list. So if you're watching, Panda, you're on the list now. Okay? So tag, you're it. And Michi will get, if you're watching this, Michi, you need 10 books and 10 movies. Okay, guys? Okay. Pardon me. We had some killer Chinese food, and it's I got a little bit of a thing going on. We had some Bang Bang Shrimp, which was bomb. It's like I could put that sauce on my shoe, and yeah, I could shoe, and yeah, killer. And also we got a package, a very special package from Puerto Rico of some killer coffee, and I'm gonna have some as soon as I get done with this. It's some really killer, really good Puerto Rican coffee. And one of the brands is the place where Rebecca's dad is from, and the other one is, I mean, they're both Puerto Rican coffees, but they smell awesome. So I am looking forward to having a little shot of cafe. So Rebecca and I are going to enjoy that. Everybody, have a good rest of the weekend. So we'll be seeing you on our Thursday live. If you like the content, please hit the thummies. Please subscribe. We've made a advance towards hitting the 1K. And we're trying to get that going. So thank you to everybody. I hope you had a very good 4th of July weekend. And we'll see you guys later. I'm going to go have my cup of coffee. Get some caffeine. Okay? We'll see y'all later.